Well, what was the Portland State game? What was your impression of that? How you guys played that game?
My impression was that our effort was good. We had some guys that really played well. We didn't play real smart all the time, which has to improve. We whether it was penalties or poor eye control, not knowing the situation, things like that, and it cost us against them. And there was times that it should have cost us and it didn't, fortunately for us. So there's progress being made. Obviously getting a win's always big, but there was plenty of things to take away from that game that we have got to improve upon.
Chuck Thompson, his stat line was pretty good in that game. Did
I think the game has started to slow down for him a little bit. Just not that it was ever too fast, but we're asking him to do a lot, to be honest with you, and it's probably not 100% fair to him because he's playing in our base group. He's playing nickel. He returns kicks. He's on punt. Guy's been here since August, and he's real talented, and he's getting better every day. And I think we were able to see some of the things that he has the ability to do, and he'll continue to get better the more he plays.
Was it apparent the first day or two he was here that he'd be able to handle that from a mental standpoint if you asked him?
Yeah, he picks things up real well. He's very coachable. He loves the game, and he's got some things that he's got to work on just like everybody else, but he's got a good feel for the game, and sometimes it's very hard to tell in recruiting. How well they pick the game up, does it make sense to him, and everybody's different, and he has a good grasp. He's got a good feel for that.
What does he need to work? Defensive back system. What has that done for you? What you've been able to do?
Get our best people on the field. That's really the root of it, and so you can call them whatever positions you want, but it's all about getting our best football players on the field.
Has that changed anything schematically?
Yeah, it has. Yeah. Just because there's certain things you want to ask them to do, things they can do and then they're good at, and we're not going to stack certain guys in the box playing in the A gap if we can control not doing that. But there's times we're going to have to kind of tweak things to make them fit our personnel, and so it has. Yeah.
What does Shaq have to work on, those things that you just mentioned?
Well, I think technique things, how to use his hands a little better, playing the run game. He's never really done that before. He's working with Coach Sermon and with Coach Hayward both. Because he does some things that a linebacker does. He does some things that a defensive back does. Because he's essentially our nickel, so we'll put him out there on the number 2 or the slot receiver and let him play. And we'll also play him in the run game quite a bit, obviously. And so there's a few things, just technique things that really show up. He's got to continue to train his eyes, know what he's looking at all the time, and because I think, especially in high school, guys, he put them out there and go get the ball, and as much as everybody wants to do that, it's a little bit different. So he's just got to train his eyes, and he's done a better and better job each week.
So you didn't worry about mental overload with him as a freshman. You're asking him to play the run with a fast receiver, understand.
I think you worry about a mental overload with any of them. He's done our veterans, there's certain guys out here that have played here for 3 or 4 years that'll still make mistakes, and so he's not going to be perfect. But we've been, very, aware of what we're giving him and make sure it's not too much and not slowing him down. And we put quite a bit on him, and he's handled it well. And not that he's been perfect, but he's done a good job.
Do you think his minor league baseball experience has helped with his maturity and just kind of handling himself in these processes?
That's a good question. I don't know that he, going off on his own and doing that. I think it probably has as much to do with just the type of guy he is, because I think there's probably minor league baseball players out there that aren't real mature too. So I don't know if just because you play minor league baseball it helps your maturity. If it does, we're going to send all of them to minor league baseball.
Is Stanford, is the biggest challenge with them physical, just kind of the way they are?
Yeah, and they're very good schematically. They give you every formation, every personnel grouping, every gap run scheme that you see, and they do a really good job with it. And their run game and their pass game coordinate very well together, so they'll look the same. So you can't really, some teams you get in certain formations and here's the 2 things they do. They don't really have that because everything complements each other so well.
How do you sniff out their play action, the tight ends, after?
Eye control. Yeah. You got to have great eyes. It's some of the things we were just talking about. Everybody has a key. Every linebacker, every defensive lineman, every defensive back has a key on every call, and to make sure that your eyes are on your keys, and especially when it's the 6th, 7th, 8th play of a drive, and you just got the call and they're going hurry up and you got to get your eyes on your key and play it just as disciplined as you did when we did it in a walkthrough. That's it's a simple concept to say you got to get your eyes on your key, but you know, it's not always easy to do. So we got to make sure we get our eyes right and don't give them anything easy.
There are a lot of mental fatigue in the third quarter. They've rushed it at you 30 times. And
sure, I mean, I think that's I mean, that's part of being mental toughness, and you can have big, fast, strong guys, but if you're not mentally tough and you can't handle that, you know, being able to get your eyes on your key on the 73rd play of the game, then you're gonna get us beat, you know, and it'll hurt us. So we got to make sure that we train our minds as much as we train our bodies, because it's so important.
How different is Stanford's power run than LSU's, for instance?
There's different schemes. There's a lot more formations. LSU was a lot more. And Stanford runs zone scheme, but LSU is a zone scheme, and they run the power, but they like the zone scheme. Stanford has a lot more gap schemes, meaning you're getting pulling guards and fullbacks, that type of thing.